in Indian rice exports to the US market as the popularity of Indian and South Asian dishes such as biryani have grown in the US market. Now, all the exports are demand driven. They're based on taste because Indian rice has a very distinct flavor, texture and color palette which is more suitable for certain type of traditional Indian and South Asian dishes.
The popularity of Indian and South Asian cuisine in the United States has exploded in the last decade. Dishes like biryani, pulao, khichdi, and dosa have become mainstream, and at the heart of these dishes lies one key ingredient: Indian rice. Whether it's long-grain basmati or flavorful sona masuri, Indian rice has a distinct aroma, texture, and color profile that no other variety in the world can truly replicate. And that's exactly why Indian rice continues to dominate demand in the US market. But amid all this growing demand, there's a political storm. The US administration under President Donald Trump has been increasingly pressuring India on trade. This time, the target is Indian rice exports. Trump has repeatedly suggested that India is dumping rice into the US market and hinted at imposing new tariffs on Indian rice imports. However, India has responded strongly, backed by solid data and market dynamics that tell a very different story. India's response is clear. Indian rice is not dumped into the US, it is demand-driven, and the US market needs it. Dev Garg, Vice President of the Indian Rice Exporters Federation, IREF, made a sharp statement. Even if the US increases tariffs, the demand for Indian rice remains strong. American consumers need Indian rice. This is not India doing a favor to the US. And the numbers back this up. Let's break it down. Before tariff hikes, US import duties on Indian rice were 10%. This later shot up to 50%, a massive 40% jump. But did Indian rice exports drop? No, not at all, because the US-grown rice simply cannot replace Indian rice. It doesn't match the taste, fragrance, or texture required for authentic Indian, Pakistani, Bangladeshi, Nepali, or Middle Eastern dishes. For millions of families in America, including immigrants and Americans who love Indian food, there is no substitute. Who suffered from the tariff increase? Surprisingly, not India. Indian farmers continue to receive stable prices. Indian exporters haven't seen a major drop in shipments. Instead, American consumers were hit. US domestic rice prices went up. Grocery store prices for Indian rice spiked. Inflation in ethnic food categories increased. Restaurants relying on imported rice faced higher costs. The tariff pressure shifted the burden entirely onto US households, not Indian exporters. So why is Trump still targeting Indian rice? During remarks on agricultural subsidies and trade practices, Trump specifically questioned India's position in the global rice market, suggesting that India enjoys unfair advantages. But experts point out, India, Thailand, and even China have been major rice exporters for years. India's rice exports are not subsidized in a way that distorts global markets. WTO disputes filed against India are still ongoing. And most importantly, demand in the US remains extremely strong, regardless of tariffs. Bottom line, Trump may continue to question Indian rice exports. He may even impose higher tariffs. But the reality is simple. US consumers need Indian rice. Indian rice is irreplaceable, and the US market, not India, will feel the pain of higher tariffs. If any major policy change happens, it will hurt American households first, not Indian exporters or farmers. What do you think about this rising trade tension over Indian rice? Share your thoughts in the comments below.